Air fryers have had a recent surge in popularity, and they work by circulating hot air around the food to produce a crunchy, crispy exterior. A chemical reaction occurs between an amino acid and a reducing sugar in the presence of heat, which leads to a change in the colour and flavour of foods. When compared to a deep fryer, an air fryer reduces the amount of fat, calories and potentially harmful compounds in the food. For example, this study found that air frying reduced acrylamide by 90% compared to deep frying. However, it's important to note that studies suggest other harmful compounds are formed during the process of air frying, namely aldehydes, heterocyclic amines, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These compounds are all potentially dangerous chemicals that are formed with high heat cooking and may be associated with a higher risk of cancer. So now let's hear Dr. Greger's opinion on air fryers.
So there's a bunch of compounds created with high dry heat. So we're not talking about steaming, boiling, poaching, that kind of thing, but baking, grilling, barbecuing, where the temperatures can get above the 212 or 100 degrees Celsius. And so one of them is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which comes from basically animal fat splattering. It's a combustion byproduct, and so you don't have to worry about that with plant foods. Another one is heterocyclic amines, which is actually created when the muscle protein and creatine in the muscle itself is exposed to high heat. So again, if you're not eating mussels, you don't have to worry about that. That's something you have to worry about if you're eating chicken or fish or something at those high temperatures. But then there's two others. So one's called acrylamide, and that's when the kind of crispy carbohydrates, potato chips, French fries, and there was concern that that was cancer causing. So I raised that as soon as it came out, and I said, look, until we know further, stop eating potato chips and French fries, which aren't healthy for you anyway. But those concerns have almost completely vanished, except maybe for endometrial cancer. But all the other cancers which we were concerned about don't seem to be the case. And the case against acrylamide appears to be weakening year by year. But then there's one more, and that's advanced glycation end products, these so-called glycotoxins, which are formed when high fat and high protein foods are exposed to high temperatures. And so number one is like broiled hot dogs, and then like chicken McNuggets. I have a video where the top 20 sources, all of them are some form of animal product. But you take an apple and there's almost nothing. You bake the apple, almost nothing. Doesn't matter because that's not a high fat, high protein food. However, there are a few high fat, high protein plant foods. Tofu. We should not be eating grilled tofu, Cajun blackened tofu every day. The saddest thing is nuts and seeds. High protein, high fat foods. And what do? We toast our walnuts, we toast our sesame seeds because they taste so good that way, but not a good idea. So we should eat raw nuts, raw seeds, raw nut butters, raw seed butters, because of these glycotoxins. So that's the one thing we're worried about with air frying. It would be high fat, high protein foods. So, tempeh wings, not a good idea. But sweet potato fries, booyah! So, I have an air fryer, and I have it for one purpose. Purple sweet potato fries, one of my favorite snacks in the whole wide world. A little sage. Oh my God.
Researchers at the Taiwan Society of Indoor Environmental Air Quality found that air fryers may pose a major risk to indoor air quality if used without proper ventilation. Because they work by circulating extremely hot air at high temperatures, it poses an air pollution risk when the oils in high-fat foods melt and start circulating in the machine. The lead author of the report, Chang Cheng Ping, said that people can mitigate the risks by ensuring that their kitchens are adequately ventilated or using the air fryer near a balcony or a window. However, as we've heard from Dr. Greger, we shouldn't be using high-fat or high-protein foods in an air fryer. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and subscribe for more upcoming videos.